Hello, beautiful bonsaiers. It's Joe Bonsai, and today we have a couple of Sungold or Sungold? Yeah, Sungold false Cypress. These have been, well, this one's been under a lot of stuff, so it's been seriously neglected. I'm going to have to, I think I should repot it. Like, look at that. It's just horrible. It's actually been fighting under this one's canopy, which this one, like, is not doing too bad, but it needs a haircut. It needs a haircut bad. All right, so other side of that. Starting to get windy. I'm enjoying the sunlight today. It is very bright. I picked the wrong time of day to do this, but I'm busy all day. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and pull the sucker out, start cleaning, get rid of the weeds. It's got some wild rootilage coming out. Yeah, it's a word that you shouldn't repeat. It's almost like a 4-letter word, rootilage. I just mean like this thing's in a bad state. That's okay. We're gonna go ahead and get them taken care of. The roots are black. The soil's actually not too bad, but we're gonna put them in a different pot, get them teased out, being a little bit more gentler with this one. Being a little bit more genteel with this one, because it's gonna be a sweet tree. It's got an interesting trunk. We got this that is like an ugly, look at that. It's like nothing to it. I need to get rid of that ASAP. Just don't want that ugliness. There's nothing coming out of it. Okay. So we have a very little bit of a nabari coming out of this. This was another 2-for set way back when I first started. So this one's actually the same age as that, but this one was a little plant out of that. And what I'm going to do here is, since this is all fairly dried out, there's a little bit of life in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all of the stuff around it so that it can take off, so it can concentrate, because maybe something new can come out of there. And I don't want all of this going on up top. I don't want that. Here's the thing. Don't gin just to make a gin. Sometimes people they add gins that are unnecessary. So I don't want this to have a whole lot of unnecessary gins. So although that's nice, eventually this plant's going to get big, and that's going to get cut away anyways. So why not just get rid of it now? That way it's not a problem. And then we'll come in here. I'm going to clean these up. For now, I can kind of leave that as a gin. I'm going to go ahead and clean these out too. And we'll leave this because this is a nice, there's a possibility for bud back in here. And I can see right in here, let's see. Nope, that's pretty dry. I don't know. Okay, yeah, there's a chance to bud back on that one. About this one. And a chance to bud back on that, which would further the cause for my tree. All right, I am going to get rid of this middle nub. I'm just going to get rid of it completely. That's going to look nice. All right, now I have got some splits coming off of this. I don't think I'm going to need to wire it, but I think due to its lack of good roots, it needs a little bit less energy being taken from it. So we're going to go ahead and actually cut this back that far. And for the health of the tree, I'm going to go ahead and cut that off as well. So now we've got a tiny bonsai that we're going to make come out of this. Now, you know what? I'm going to bite the bullet. I don't want these two to fight for that crevice, and that just looks horrible in there, so there's no reason to have it. All right, so now we've got 3 branches. We got a branch coming off here, branch coming off here, and then we have a branch coming off here. Now, it's not going to be a great bonsai, but it'll be a bonsai, and I'll actually put it somewhere where the sunlight can get to it and I can take care of it. So here's where we'll take a timeout and I go get a pot. Now it had a nice big pot before, but probably gonna cut all this out. Was this thing? There we go. There's my spoon. Now that I've learned up a bit, I can actually produce soil that's better than when I first planted this. It's been in there for 4 years. Ain't got bigger whatsoever. Just give me a second to horse. So yeah, I need to pay attention to these little guys a little bit more. He's been up there on the top shelf under my pear tree and for so many years. All right. Give some of those lower roots. I'm going to try to break some more of these out. See some more of this out. Try to get a spread on these roots. I mean, it's nothing but roots, so look at that. Just root balls. Okay. Look at that. That looks a little bit better. I'm not going to say it's the best, but it does look a little bit better. Now, I'm not going to concentrate on placement in here for this tree. Okay, maybe I am a little bit. I mean, I don't want it to look completely dumb, but we are going to go ahead and do that. Okay. This one might be earning a before and after. Wish I had taken some before pictures. That would have been great. I have a tendency to forget. I need a production manager on this. Anyways, I got a lot of fine dirt in this one, and I'm being gentle, but this thing needs some new dirt, some new soil a little bit further down in its roots. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to supply it with some. All right, so here we go. Old bonsai. It's really awesome because it's old and it's still this size. I mean, but here we go. That's its new front. I eventually want it to tilt back, but maybe now would be a good time to spread some of these. You know what? Let's do that. Let's go ahead and get some wire. So I want that one. You know what? No. I want this one to come out. Okay, so this is where you grab the end and you do a spiral and then you loop it around and make it do what you want. Coming down here on the short. Do not break it, Joe. Do not break it. Loop it down. So we got the short coming out and pulling that down like that. And then this can come out over that way. And we can start getting a difference. There we go. There we go. I mean, that's actually a pretty nice way too, but its root base was a little different. So if it grows up a little bit more, then we can get this to up pot, and then I can actually get it situated inside a pot the way it should be. All right, now what they got this way. Boy. All right, now that one's out of the way, go ahead and get this one. This one I'm not worried about repot. Probably should, but it's doing good. I'll repot it later on in the season. That one really needed it. This one needs a slight haircut. All right, so I'm going to get that. Oh, I want some of these inner branches gone. All right. Ooh, that actually opened up a lot. I do like to brush these out with a soft bristle brush. It's way easier. It does help. Look at that. See? Of course you can't see because I'm not videotaping over my shoulder again. But there you go. Can you see that? All those orange, brown. All right, look at that. Just made its color better. Okay, so now we're going with the principle of cutting everything. This thing's got a very nice, very nice trunk going on. Get rid of that one. I don't know. I think I should bring you guys over here, over my shoulder, to look at this one. Yeah. No. To the sky. All right, right over my bucket. All right, this is better. Okay. All right. Hope I don't kick the camera. Let's see what. Okay. So we are very congested in here, but you can see I had this thing wrapped before. You can see some markings, I think. I've got some scars from markings. It's got a nice nabari coming on. It's like, it's got two very thickish, plus some others spiraling coming outward. This one's kind of ugly. Probably take that off. Just because it does not look good up there. All right, that looks better. Now, leave some comments, because I would love to. I get some of your comments, and some of you remind me of things, and you know, it's hard to keep up in this kind of, at least it's hard to relay it to people over the internet. So it is getting congested. The question is, with these lace leaves, like, just, do you want a bunch of them bushed up? Do you want them to grow out of control and you just use little, like, delicate ones to be the foliage? Like, they're a unique type of conifer that sometimes it's very difficult. Right now, I've got really good trunk going on, but I've also got to pay attention to that and get rid of some of this internal stuff that is just going to be a hassle. Now, so this comes all the way up in here, and we've got a lot of congestion. Well, do I want that to be something to use in the future, or do I want to just get rid of it and kind of really cut it back and concentrate on getting the trunk a little thicker? Well, this one I think is a pretty good candidate to start going into a cascade, but I have a lot of cascades. So I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna take that off because it's even under. I'm gonna take these off because that's under. This one has potential in the future. Cut that out of there. And some of these branches, I'm gonna cut all these little ones, all those little ones out of there. Cut that little one. And honestly, that needs to come away too. I can't see it. There we go. All right, we'll cut that one off. All right, so now we're getting it opened up, looking a little bit better. Go ahead and get rid of that. Got a lot of congestion up in here that needs to go away. Beautiful, beautiful plants. Now we're just going to shorten some of these because I just don't want don't want it to get out of control, especially with lower hanging fruit, those lower ones. Now this one's kind of growing up in a direction that I don't want it to go, so I am going to get rid of that altogether. Just realized it is definitely not in a direction I want to go, so we're going to see where all this stuff goes in the future. Get rid of some of this. Got way too many, way too close together over here, so we're going to get rid of that one and that one. And now probably wire those apart. Don't need too much going down those, so make a tiny elbow. 2mm wire here. 2mm is probably one of the most common, like the most universal wire to use. All right, so on there, and this one we're gonna go like that. Like that, yeah. All right, so there we go. And you know what? Now that I've done that, I definitely don't want this one in there. There we go. All right. So now we got a little bit different. Now we got a chance to make these things. All right, see. That looks a little bit better out there. A lot less congestion you can't see out there. All right, so obviously this is our new apex, but that is way too tall. So that's way too tall of an apex. So we're gonna have to go ahead and take it off right there. That's good. And we're gonna go ahead and take this one out. And then I'm gonna shorten some of this stuff, because that's got a lot of foliage in there that's gonna take off this year. This one, take it there. All right. Probably take care of this for now. This one I'm gonna have to wire again because this needs to be down. All right. So let's go ahead and take that off. I'm gonna go ahead and clip that out a bit. Let's see. Let me get rid of that one. And then there he is. This tree trunk here is split in 3. Now, this has got a lot of thick coming up here. I think I'll take that one off. It's growing out like crazy, because it's definitely going in an up, too up. So we'll get rid of that. And then we'll wire these down as well. And I'll get rid of that in there. Oh, man. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get rid of that. Got some of these coming over, and I don't necessarily want them coming. Oh, actually, if I get that down, it should look good. One step at a time, right, people? All right. I think this is a little tight. I think 2.5mm is too thin for that. It's not strong enough. I have some use. That's way too thick. There's some old 3. Yay, recycle. So Where did that come from? Go ahead and it's already mostly. There we go. There we go. And all I gotta do is bring it up this way. Great. Have a big truck come down. Probably use that for the next branch too. I might have to do this one. All right. Okay, now bring that down like that, like so. Don't do it like this. You generally want to hold it tight with everything and pull it down and stuff. But I'm trying to show you guys what I'm doing, so I'm pulling it down and at the same time I'm like aiming it up. These will eventually get caught up by the sun. They'll start growing upwards a little bit better. I got this odd thing over here. Like, do I want that going up? Taking off? I mean, it looks like it would look good if it starts going up like that. So maybe I should, or maybe I should just cut it off. Cut to the quick, and this one would look cool. But that come back on itself. I don't want that. So this thing look. Actually, you know what? This is coming in, and that's smaller and better. That's smaller and better size to make it look old. Right there. All right. So now we've got the lower branches. Let's go ahead and see what we can do with the upper branches. Now, I want this to bud back. I would much rather have some stuff come up. Or should I leave these and let those take over? If I take these out, it kind of cuts it off. We'll lose that triangle figure if I cut this out. But, do I let this in? Do I? Oh, actually, that's a unique flavor. Okay. That. Do I have any other? Oh, what's that? Is that long enough? Is that long enough? Oh, I think it is. Okay, I'm gonna hook this down here. Still got part of that 2-branch principle coming on. That's way too much in there, so we'll get rid of that congestion. That way I can get my wire up over it. Ooh, I don't want to trap that. All right, there we go. Hope you all can see that. So this is some 4mm, I believe. Just a recycled piece. So and I'm not biting down on it. I'm just using it as a fulcrum. All right, okay. So now what I want, without breaking it, is to bring that forward. Oh, look at that. That looks nice. Forward and out. There we go. That looks better. Look at that. You know what? I think with that, and I think this should take off as a new leader. But since we're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut that shorter. That looks good, but really, there we go. And then that's got a little good, and I want it to bud back. So, and it will bud back. So I'm gonna do that. This is a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. All right, cool. That is in the middle of 3. So get rid of that. That is too long. And this is too long. I'm just gonna nip that right down there. Okay, now that we've got that, now we look back at that. And question is, do I leave it? It kind of looks like a sore thumb out there. So, boom. There we go. And now we got some options going on. And hopefully this one will take off, and I can take one of these off, and so it can have 2 branches there. So this come down, and then we'll square it out, kind of. There we go. Boom, boom. Nip these back a little bit. And the presumable woody so that things can start budding back. And cut this back. That way we're a little bit more balanced. All right. And that's Sungold.